Tim Franks, BBC News, Rio.
The debate over who exactly is benefiting from Brazil's World Cup building spree. Now, despite all of the differences between the United States, Russia and Iran, and there are many, there is one unusual issue where they are in lockstep: wrestling. The three countries are staging exhibition matches today in New York's Grand Central Station, all to convince the Olympic Committee that the sport should remain in the international games. The BBC's Bahman Kalbasi has this report.
For more than half a century, the United Nations has tried to bring countries together. Today, instead of world leaders and diplomats, the building is playing host to another group of global power players.
On February 12th, the International Olympic Committee made a recommendation that wrestling not be included on the Olympic program in 2020 and 2024.
Athletes from America and Iran, as well as Russia, have joined forces to save wrestling as an Olympic sport. They've come to the UN as part of a campaign to convince the International Olympic Committee to keep the sport in the 2020 Games.
Wrestling is the eldest sport, and that's why it should keep its place on the Olympics. Olympics started with wrestling and athletics.
An ancient sport with deep roots in Iran and Russia and a great following in the United States. Now the threat of elimination from the Olympics has brought the rivals together.
I think it's something to definitely take a note of, that Russia, Iran, and the United States of America are getting along for wrestling, for the survival of the first sport of mankind.
Thank you.
Possibly better than those three countries have gotten along for anything in history.
We
are here to show that we can be together for the common purpose of keeping wrestling in the Olympics. As Iranians who carry the message of peace, I am very hopeful that we will achieve our goal.
These countries are opponents in politics, but today we are here together. Together we will save Olympic wrestling.
The Persians have always been good at wrestling, and this is their opportunity to come here to America and show, the dominance that they have.
As part of the campaign, these champions of the world wrestling superpowers are competing in a day of symbolic matches in Manhattan.
Blanc looking to turn him and get the push out, and he does pick up the point.
This mat at the historic Grand Central Terminal in the heart of New York will have more champions on it throughout the day, all fighting for the common cause of keeping the sport they love in the Olympics. United States, Iran, and Russia, three unlikely allies on the world stage, now united for a peaceful purpose. Bahman Kalbasi, BBC News, New York.
And in News Just In, we're hearing that in about half an hour's time, the President is due to give a statement on that story we were speaking about earlier, the Revenue Service targeting conservative groups. More on that when we have it. You're watching BBC World News America.